I've been trying to face on repeatedly. I've been trying to run it off like all the others in my history. Yesterday was hell, but I made it through the day. Felt straight. Small. Everybody leaves. Everybody. Everybody leaves.
Hello, guys. Trying this new mic and see if it actually works. So, I started off the day looking for cells. I saw on my daily volume profile chart that prices were looking to continue lower by how the volume profiles were ending, and I saw that point of control was pretty close. So, I was looking for price to go back to point of control. I ended up taking an early loss, which threw my psychology off immediately. And then I had my kids waking up, my son wanting to be on my lap, off my lap, on my lap, off my lap, which I know that, like, for most people, if they have to watch their kids, they just don't trade. I am at a stay at home dad, basically. So that is not a choice that I get to make at this point. I could choose just not to trade at all, or choose to learn how to deal with trading with my kids at home. Unfortunately, today ended up being another max loss day. Um, I am aware that my psychology is a huge part of what I do, and I need to figure out um, how to just sit on my hands and wait for my trades to come. And what I'm thinking about after I reload my new forward testing account, because I know that the strategy actually works. I just have to have a zone to play off of, and me entering late, or me entering in just open air, basically, not off a zone, not anywhere near a zone. That has to stop, because in order for me to get better and be a provider for my family, and to strengthen my mental health, because losing obviously isn't good for my mental health, I have to wait for my signals. Just wait. So waiting is what I will be doing. And I honestly thought about, like, there's two max loss days in a row. I should not even post this. But I also know that this is a part of trading, right? Sometimes I want to jump off a bridge, but I think back to all the mentors that I've had in the past, and currently. They all preach that you have a strategy, you follow that strategy to a T, and you accept your risk based on the strategy that you've laid out, your edge in the market. My edge works. I know it works. I've seen it work. I have to wait. I have to be more patient when it comes to entries. I have to not let my children dictate an entry. And if that's the case, and I go over and I look in the videos, I need to be able to discern when this is happening and tell myself, hey, you have a lower chance of actually succeeding in trades when you're feeling irritable or you're being distracted by your children because they're younger children. They're not like 10, 11 years old. They're like below 5 years of age. So they need a lot more attention. So in the future, discern that, be able to digest it and process it quickly so that you know, hey, all right, dude, just get off the computer, take your hands away from the computer until they got what they need, and then you come back later, or you just be done for the day. Like, hey, they're not chilling, and I'm feeling high anxiety, dude. Just step away. It's better for your mental health. If you just step away because if you lose, you're gonna go down that rabbit hole, revenge trading and going into it. I know I'm talking to me, but hopefully this helps somebody else out as well. This is the first video that I'm actually speaking with my voice on. Um, yeah. All right. Let me go ahead and give myself a grade. The grade will be an F. The reason it's an F is because not for the first trade. The first trade was a decent trade. It was just really early. And for the second trade, completely outside of my plan. It was just off a whim. I was like, maybe I'll catch this type of thing. A hope. It had nothing to do with my plan. So today's grade is an F plus, if that's a thing, or F minus. It was a bad day, of just not following rules. The day that you follow your rules is A plus. If you follow your rules to the T, is A plus. If you're off your rules a little bit, B plus. But today is an F minus. So around this level, I was looking at a possible reversal from this point because I've seen it before where once it breaks through this green zone here, it's going to continue lower. But the market was not at any zone. It was just in the middle of whatever, right? Well, actually, it did hit the lower zone, and I was expecting for price to continue lower, but it did not give a sell signal at all. So at this point, buyers are in control, and I had no reason to even be in this trade. So this was completely outside of my plan. Buyers are in control, and this trade is what took me to basically my max loss that I have for myself. And then I still ended up taking another trade after I ended the stream and completely killed the account basically because it was done. Like I had like what $60 until it was blown. So it was done at that point. Um, yeah. So psychology is big. I'll do better. I have to do better for my family, for myself. And I hope this helps you guys.
Break me that easy. I've been trying to face on repeatedly. I've been trying to run it off like all the others in my history. Yesterday was hell, but I made it through the day. Felt straight.